They told you to save. They said it was safe, responsible, the smart thing to do. And you believed them. You stacked every dollar like a loyal soldier. You watched the numbers rise in your account, and you thought that meant progress. But here's the part they never told you. The system was smiling when you did that. Because you weren't building wealth. You were building obedience. Saving didn't make you free. It made you predictable. Every dollar you hoard in fear is a confession that you don't trust yourself to command it. You're not playing the game of money. You're guarding someone else's pieces. The rich know this. The banks know this. Governments, corporations, all of them. They love savers. Not because savers are smart, but because savers are static. They keep the machine alive while believing they're in control. They feed the very system that exploits their caution. When you fear loss, they win. When you move too slowly, they move through you. The entire economy is built on this manipulation, the illusion of safety. They sold you comfort wrapped in fear. The irony is brutal. The more you save, the weaker you become. Because money that doesn't move stops breathing. And when your money stops breathing, so does your potential. Money isn't a pet. It's not something you protect, feed, and keep caged. It's a weapon, one that rusts in stillness and sharpens in motion. The rich understand this. They don't own money, they deploy it. They treat every dollar as a soldier trained to expand territory. Meanwhile, the average person keeps their soldiers locked in a vault, shining them, counting them, worshiping them, while the war for power happens outside. The result? You become a spectator in a game you should be leading. That's not strategy. That's slavery disguised as caution. You think your savings are your fortress, but really, they're your prison. The walls are made of your own fear. Pause for a moment. Think about how many years you spent chasing the feeling of safety. The salary, the savings account, the plan. Now realize this. Safety was never the goal. It was the leash. You were taught that patience is a virtue, but in the game of power, patience is a cage. The system teaches you to wait for the right time, to save until the stars align, until it feels safe to act. But that moment never comes, because the entire structure of modern finance depends on your hesitation. Your stillness funds their movement. And here's the cruelest twist. They turned obedience into virtue. They taught you that saving is moral, that patience is noble, that risk is sin. They made you believe moderation was wisdom, when in truth, it was domestication. Society loves the saver not because he's righteous, but because he's harmless. The good citizen is the one who stays small, steady, and safe, perfect for control. The banks don't punish savers. They reward them with illusion. They give you interest rates that can't even outrun inflation, while using your deposits to buy influence, control markets, and multiply wealth in the shadows. You think your account balance makes you secure, but it's not your money anymore. It's their capital. While your dollars sleep, theirs are conquering. That's not economics. That's extraction. Look around you. The people who play it safe are the easiest to control. They obey rules, follow schedules, and spend their lives protecting crumbs because they're too afraid to bake the bread. They don't realize the game isn't about owning, it's about controlling. The rich don't care about possession, they care about influence. They spend not to have, but to direct. That's why the world moves for them, because motion is power, and power belongs to those who move first. The cautious wait for opportunities. The powerful manufacture them. If you ever wonder why the harder you work, the more stuck you feel, it's because you've been tricked into playing defense in a game that only rewards offense. The system doesn't want you to lose everything. It wants you to never risk anything. That's how it keeps you harmless. It tells you to save your way to freedom, but no one has ever saved their way into power. You have to spend your way into control, not recklessly, but strategically. The truth is simple. The world doesn't pay for stillness, it pays for movement. Money only has value when it moves. Once it stops, it begins to decay. Just like muscle, like momentum, like ambition. That's why the rich don't retire into comfort. They can't. Comfort is corrosion. They'd rather stay in motion, not because they need more, but because they understand what happens when they stop. The moment your money stops working, your influence begins to rot. Money is motion, yes, but motion is nothing without direction. Most people confuse activity with progress. They hustle, they save, they grind, yet they go nowhere. That's because they move without aim. Power doesn't come from motion alone. It comes from precision. The poor move emotionally. The rich move mathematically. Every dollar, every risk, every decision is designed to reinforce their position. That's what separates chaos from control. You don't get rich by being busy. You get rich by being calculated. And here's the part that stings. The system built that blindness into you. It trained you to associate money with morality, to feel guilty when you spend, proud when you save, and ashamed when you take risks. But that's how control works. By shaping your emotions before your logic ever catches up. The powerful understood this centuries ago. Machiavelli wrote that the strongest ruler isn't the one who owns the army, but the one who commands how others think about power. The same is true with money. You don't need to own everything. You just need to make others move their wealth according to your rhythm. That's the dark truth behind the economy. It's not a system of exchange. It's a system of control. The rich don't hoard money. They weaponize it to bend time, people, and perception. They use it to accelerate where others hesitate. They don't fear losing. They fear stagnation. Because they know what the cautious never learn. Loss is the entry fee to evolution. If you never lose, you never grow. And if you never risk, you never rise. So ask yourself, is your money alive or dead? Is it fighting for you, or is it quietly building empires for someone else? Because make no mistake, it's working for someone. Every dollar you let sleep is out there right now, funding a war, buying influence, expanding a corporation that keeps you small. You think you're protecting your future, but really, you're financing your own cage. Every act of saving, every dollar withheld from risk, feeds the system's bloodstream. It's collective obedience. Millions of quiet workers doing exactly what the architects of control designed. You think your caution is private, but it's public power. Your fear fuels their expansion. Every passive citizen sustains the machine they secretly resent. That's not coincidence. That's architecture. You've been taught to see money as something fragile, something to protect. But the rich see it as something to command. They don't fear spending because they understand what it really does. It multiplies power, not comfort. The poor spend to escape pain. The rich spend to increase reach. Every dollar they release is an act of control. They never throw it away. They send it out with a mission. That's the fundamental difference between movement and mastery. Look around you. The average worker trades time for money, believing that hard work equals freedom. They wake up early, follow orders, save the leftovers, and hope one day life rewards their discipline. But that dream was designed to keep them docile. It's a perfect illusion. Work harder, save more, wait longer. Yet every hour they sell is another hour they'll never own. They're renting their time, their energy, even their hope. Meanwhile, those above them don't trade time. They buy it. They pay to move faster, to skip lines, to bend the clock itself. That's the real game. Using money to compress years into moments. Elon Musk doesn't wait for experience. He buys it. Warren Buffett doesn't guess. He purchases information. Rockefeller didn't wait for markets. He created them. That's how the powerful play. Money is not their goal. It's their lever. They use it to reshape the terrain while everyone else is still learning the rules. It's why billionaires keep building even when they could retire. Because they're not chasing wealth. They're chasing control. There's a simple truth most people will never accept. Money obeys power, not patience. When you hold it too tightly, it slips through your fingers. When you direct it with purpose, it multiplies. The poor protect their money like it's oxygen. The rich use it like a weapon. And a weapon is useless unless it's aimed. That's why the rich never spend emotionally. They spend surgically. Every decision is calculated to either strengthen their position, increase their capability, or extend their control. The first rule: spend to build capability. The poor buy comfort, the rich buy competence. You can wear your money or you can wield it, but you can't do both. One person drops $1,000 on new clothes to feel confident. Another drops the same on learning persuasion, negotiation, or investing. And that skill feeds them forever. Money spent on skill never disappears. It compounds invisibly, turning you into someone who can't stay broke for long. That's not luck. That's evolution through leverage. The second rule: spend to buy position. Proximity is profit. Power doesn't flow to talent. It flows to access. The rich understand that being in the right room can rewrite your future faster than any degree. One dinner with the right person can replace 5 years of saving. That's why they pay to be near influence, to sit at tables where decisions are made before they reach the public. Meanwhile, the poor brag about saving money by staying home, unaware that their isolation is the most expensive choice of all. The third rule: spend to gain leverage. The poor worship hustle, the rich worship systems. The poor try to do everything themselves and call it pride. The rich pay others to multiply their impact. They buy time, hire competence, and build machines that work while they sleep. A poor man saves pennies by wasting hours. A rich man spends dollars to buy years. Hustle without leverage is slavery. Leverage turns effort into influence. The fourth rule: spend to buy time. The poor treat time like it's free. The rich treat it like oxygen. They'll pay to skip mistakes, to learn in days what others take years to figure out. Because they know time isn't renewable. Money is. Every dollar that buys back an hour of your life is an investment that pays for eternity. The person who buys time owns the future. The fifth rule: spend to create substitution. Dependence is death. The poor rely on one paycheck, one boss, one platform. The rich spend to build multiple exits before they're trapped. They create backups, alternatives, and networks so that no single failure can destroy them. When the poor panic, the rich pivot. That's not luck. It's insurance built on foresight. Power doesn't come from having everything. It comes from having options. The sixth rule: spend to compound. The rich don't just move money, they recycle it. Every gain is reinvested into new systems, new skills, new control. Momentum builds exponentially because they never let profit sit idle. It's not greed, it's physics. Motion sustains itself. Money in circulation grows, just like blood in a living body. Stop the flow, and decay begins. This is how the real elite move. They don't waste emotion on guilt or greed. They see money as energy, something to be directed, not hoarded. And every decision they make is guided by one brutal question: will this make me more powerful or more replaceable? The average person never asks that. They ask, can I afford this? That's why they stay average. The truth is, money is never neutral. It's always serving someone's agenda. Either it's building your future, or it's reinforcing someone else's control. When you save aimlessly, your money becomes fuel for the very system that traps you. The bank uses it. The market uses it. The system multiplies it, and then sells it back to you at a premium. You call it interest. They call it tribute. And the most Machiavellian part of all? The rich built this illusion on purpose. They taught you to worship money so you'd never command it. They trained you to treat it as sacred, to measure your worth by how much you could hold. Because as long as you see money as holy, you'll never see it as a tool. As long as you believe it brings safety, they'll use it to control you. They made you believe stability was freedom, but true stability is power. And power doesn't beg for permission. This is psychological warfare dressed up as financial education. Every time a commercial tells you to save for your future, it's really saying, keep your money still so we can move faster. Every time someone preaches, play it safe, what they mean is, stay predictable. You were never supposed to beat the system by playing its game. You were supposed to rise above it, by breaking its rhythm. That's the truth most people will never face. They think being smart with money means being scared of it. They confuse responsibility with paralysis. They call it discipline, but really, it's fear wearing a suit. The powerful don't avoid risk. They design it. They engineer every move to look reckless to outsiders. But it's never chaos. It's controlled aggression. That's the Machiavellian way. Make the bold seem insane, so only the fearless follow. And here's where the divide becomes absolute. Not between rich and poor, but between the reactive and the strategic. The poor respond to the world. The rich rewrite it. The poor wait for change. The rich create it. Because they understand the fundamental law. If you don't command money, someone else will command you through it. Once you stop making rookie mistakes, the game changes completely. Because the rich don't just play for money, they play for mastery. They've evolved beyond the shallow chase for numbers. What they're after is control. Control of time, of opportunity, of other people's decisions. They understand that wealth isn't the stack in your account. It's the system that works for you while you sleep. The amateurs play for income. The masters play for influence. The amateurs chase luck. The masters create leverage. And that's where the rules of mastery begin. These are not principles you find in a finance book. They are behavioral codes, the operating system of power. They are what separates those who have money from those who rule it. Rule 1. Liquidity intelligence. Always stay flexible. The poor trap their money in places they can't touch and call it security. The rich keep theirs light, agile, ready to strike. Money that can't move can't attack. Every empire in history fell because it got too heavy, too comfortable to pivot. The same happens with your wealth. When your money's stuck, you become slow. And in the economy of speed, slow is dead. Rockefeller once said that opportunity comes dressed in chaos. Only those who move fast enough to recognize it survive. Liquidity is not safety, it's velocity. Rule 2. Strategic frugality. The rich don't fear spending, they fear waste. They cut without emotion, invest without hesitation. Every dollar has a mission: to multiply. If it doesn't grow you, it goes. They don't starve themselves to save. They feed their next move. They don't avoid comfort because it's sinful. They avoid it because it's seductive. Comfort kills urgency, and urgency is the only religion of power. Rule 3. Information leverage. Knowledge is the most asymmetrical weapon on earth. It costs little, but it destroys ignorance completely. The poor chase free information and pay with time. The rich buy speed. They pay mentors, analysts, experts, not for knowledge, but for clarity. They understand that ignorance is the most expensive debt a person can carry. A $10 book can change your trajectory if you actually use it. The right sentence at the right moment can make or save millions, but only if you value time more than pride. Rule 4. Asymmetric risk. The rich don't gamble, they engineer odds. They risk little for massive upside. They never put everything on the table unless they've already rigged the game. The poor play for survival, the rich play for imbalance. They don't chase wins, they design them. Every move is a small risk with a disproportionate reward. That's why when they fall, they recover fast. Their losses are rehearsed, their wins are multiplied. Rule 5. Velocity of trust. Money moves fastest where trust flows. That's the invisible network of the elite. The poor think deals happen in contracts. The rich know they happen in conversations. Trust is currency. Your word, your name, your consistency. These are assets that open doors no money can buy. When people trust you, you no longer compete. You get chosen. Reputation is compounding interest in human form. The more reliable you become, the faster the world bends to meet you. These 5 rules aren't about wealth, they're about dominance. Because wealth ends when money stops, but mastery endures even when money burns. The rich don't pray for luck, they design inevitability. They build ecosystems that keep printing outcomes. That's why when crises hit, they don't panic, they pivot. While others freeze in fear, they simply move their pieces and let momentum do the rest. That's the ultimate Machiavellian secret. Power doesn't come from perfection. It comes from control over chaos. You see, every empire, from Rome to Silicon Valley, was built by people who understood one universal truth. Money is never the goal. It's the instrument. The melody is control. Control over how you live, where you move, who you answer to. You can spend your whole life working for money, or you can learn how to make money work for you. The first makes you useful to the system. The second makes you dangerous to it. And that's what they fear. Not your success, but your independence. They can tax your income, manipulate your fear, and shape your dreams. But they can't control a mind that commands its own money. That's why the entire world teaches obedience disguised as discipline. They want good savers, not strategic spenders. They want people who think in prices, not costs. But power doesn't ask, "Can I afford this?" Power asks, "What happens if I don't act?" Because that's the real cost of hesitation, the unseen decay of opportunity. Every second you delay, someone braver buys your future. You think waiting keeps you safe, but stillness is slow death. The powerful move while you think. They strike while you plan. They win while you wait for clarity. The world doesn't reward comfort. It rewards courage wrapped in calculation. And now, here's the final truth, the one that burns through illusion. Every purchase you make is a vote for the life you want. You're either buying freedom or dependence, growth or distraction, progress or paralysis. If your money isn't fighting for you, it's fighting for someone else. The dollars you let sleep in banks are building empires for men who own your hesitation. While your money dreams, theirs is conquering. Money is not moral, it's obedient. It serves the hand that commands it. The poor pray to it. The rich manipulate it. The powerful weaponize it. That's the hierarchy of financial evolution. You decide which level you stay in. So stop worshiping money. Start commanding it. Stop saving for comfort. Start spending for control. Stop asking for permission to play. Start rewriting the rules. Because money doesn't disappear when you spend it. It transforms into power or weakness, into freedom or servitude, into momentum or stagnation. The choice has always been yours. The life you'll live tomorrow will be written by the decisions you make with your money today. Every hesitation, Every act of courage, every dollar you set in motion echoes forward. You are either building a system that controls you or one that sets you free. And if this truth hit you, if it cracked the illusion you were raised on, then don't stop here. Subscribe to Gaka Mindset. This is where we strip away deception, expose how power really works, and teach you to use it with surgical precision. Because fortune doesn't favor the cautious, it favors the calculated. The world isn't waiting for permission, and neither should you. The next move is yours. Make it count.